mentioned, part of our culture, and that if women do not marry early, something will happen. Their babies will die. Their eggs will become too old, you know, and they need to, yes, so they need to be, yes, they need to go very quickly and all of that. So it's very important, it's very severe.
What do you understand by the word feminism? I ask this because of the level of backlash the word feminism and feminists receive whenever the word comes. Feminism is simply calling for the rights of women on the grounds of equality of the sexes. This simply means that women do not want to be perceived as a weaker vessel and so restricted from doing certain things that they wish to do. If only we can all understand feminism for what it truly is and all garner towards achieving it, I believe the negativity and backlash that the word comes with will all come to a halt. As a human rights talk show, we will be addressing all of the issues that pertain to the rights of people. Please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave a comment and get interactive with us even as we discuss more. There are going to be seasoned lawyers and other experienced and lay people from all walks of life who will be in the studio for this discussion. This feminism thing that you just listened to is nothing. The real thing is going to be done in the studio where it's going to be hot and juicy with so many things for you to learn and get to know about feminism.
Hello, wonderful viewers. It's time once again for an exclusive Human Rights Talk segment just for you. This is, in fact, the favorite part of the week for myself and the panelists because we get to show you that we have so much love for humanity, and for that, we try to ensure that your rights are protected and respected at all times. I'm Ama NUPEZ, and you are watching the Human Rights Talk with NUPEZ. Let's get talking. The topic for today is child marriage. But before we delve into the topic for today, I would want to introduce to you our panelists for today. We have with us Mr. Robert Akoto Amwafo, the Director for Amnesty International Ghana. We have the privilege of having him with us in the studio once again. And also, we have with us lawyer Rebecca DeLong Fosu, who is also a legal practitioner and also the founder of MBD and CEDA International Ghana. We take a quick break and we'll be right back.
What do you understand by the word feminism? I ask this because of the level of backlash the word feminism and feminists receive whenever the word comes. Feminism is simply calling for the rights of women on the grounds of equality of the sexes. This simply means that women do not want to be perceived as a weaker vessel and so restricted from doing certain things that they wish to do. If only we can all understand feminism for what it truly is and all garner towards achieving it, I believe the negativity and backlash that the word comes with will all come to a halt. As a human rights talk show, we will be addressing all of the issues that pertain to the rights of people. Please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave a comment and get interactive with us even as we discuss more. There are going to be seasoned lawyers and other experienced and lay people from all walks of life who will be in the studio for this discussion. This feminism thing that you just listened to is nothing. The real thing is going to be done in the studio where it's going to be hot and juicy with so many things for you to learn and get to know about feminism.
As you all know, before we delve into the main issue for the day, we usually talk about the fun and liveliness segment. Then the topic for today's fun and liveliness segment is gossip. Gossip among friends and family. Is gossip a bad character trait, or it is a social skill that everybody needs once in a while? What do you think it is? We have our panelists here to tell us what they think about gossip amongst friends and family. I'll start with Rebecca.
Okay. But seriously, gossip is nice, so you know it.
Exactly. So is it a flaw in character trait, or it is a social skill that everyone?
You know, for me,
Yeah.
I think that gossip is nice. But when you're going, you need to stop.
So at what stage or at what age?
I'm saying that because being too much into somebody's business is very childish. And so it's something we all do when we are kids,
Yeah.
when we haven't grown up enough. After a while, you realize that it's not your business, really.
Yeah.
And so you leave it at that, and you mind your own business. So it's something that we all do.
And it's fun.
When we are not, it is fun. Because, look, being a child is fun. You know, trying to do some things like a child is fun.
Yeah.
You know, being all over people's business is fun because it's not you who is in the spotlight then. But it gets to a point in your life, especially if you have been a subject of gossip, especially things that are not necessarily true. It gets to a point in your life you realize that, look, this whole gossip thing, if it's none of my business, let it be like that. So I keep telling myself that when I was younger, we used to talk about everything. I'm interested in everything. We used to gossip about everything, laugh about everything. But right now, Mama, I have more serious things to think about.
That you think about other people's issues to laugh about.
I have too many issues for myself that I'm not even interested in someone else's business. So when I see people gossiping, I just feel that after a while they will stop.
Yeah.
Because I've gone through that. We used to gossip about everything. You know now.
Yeah, I know.
Gossip about everything. But you get to a point where you're like, really? Is it my business?
Yeah, Robert, what do you think about gossip amongst friends and family?
I think it's anything that somebody cannot say, you can't say in somebody's face. You don't say it behind the person. That's my value. Even maybe it's not the same way you say it when they're in front of the person, but anything that I want to say to someone and I can't say in front of you, then there's no point of talking about it. Because one of the principles is that what you are saying, can you verify it?
Okay.
You know, the other thing is that how are you contributing to the well-being of the person?
Okay.
If you are talking about somebody and you know that this is not helping, if it's something to help the person, like, oh,
Why don't you go directly to the person?
Exactly, and tell the person, or if I can't say it, so I'm telling you, so then it's not a matter of destroying the person. If it is talking about somebody to build a person, let's do it. If it's not about, if it's
I think I see gossip the same way Robert sees gossip because recently I had an issue. I'm the type who would want to talk about something and then say it to you. If I can't say whatever it is that I'm saying behind you to you, then I feel bad. I feel it's a gossip. You know, sometimes we all have juicy gossip. That is different. Nice. Juicy gossip, of course.
New news about someone.
Exactly. But if it is gossip, because there was a time I got caught up in this thing, there were a group of friends or people I know talking about a lady, a very pretty lady for want of a better word. And then there was just something we were talking about her acne, okay? And I felt that, okay, there's nothing wrong in telling you because this is what goes around. But then for me, if you are gossiping and you don't tell the person, of what use is it? Because it means it's never going to change. So I approached the person and told the person in a very diplomatic and, in fact, actually complimented her a lot more than I would ordinarily do because I knew I was going to say something negative to her to work on. And it didn't even go well. Look, I do this a lot. It backfires in my face. It backfires in my face. So though that is the right thing to do, it actually backfires in our face. And I think that's what most people would rather sit and say is behind you.
Let me tell you what it is, the truth. The truth is that the gossip is actually the center of the interest is not really about the person. It's about you having fun at that point in time. You don't really care about the person.
Hearing something new.
There is nobody who gossips about the person who cares about the person. If you care about the person, you won't gossip.
You won't gossip or you go straight to the person to address the issue.
So usually gossip is not because I care about her, okay, I can't tell her, so let me. No. It's because you want to laugh about it and have fun to make you yourself happy. So when I see that Amma is wearing this and I want to have fun and laugh about it and make myself happy,
you will call someone.
Maybe make myself feel better than Amma. Because okay, Amma is wearing a black shoe and the black shoe is wearing is this way. Okay, my shoe is better. I'll call somebody. Hey, you know Amma. With all her shoes, if you come and see the shoe she's wearing, they will laugh.
It's more like a confirmation for yourself.
Something to make me feel better and feel happy and laugh. It's not for you. If I care about you, trust me, I won't gossip about you. If you are somebody that you have interest to me, if my husband dresses and he's going out, will I go and gossip about him?
Not at all.
Hey, I will.
In the face.
Not at all.
If he dresses and his tie is all over the place, I will call a friend and say, come and see my husband here. Why? Because I care about him.
Yes.
And I feel that whatever happens to him affects me. And so I would want to be, no, your tie is not okay. Let's do it.
So in essence, we gossip about people we don't really care about.
Exactly. If you care about the person, why do you gossip?
Then you mentioned something that was very important. You know, it's always good that you tell the person and backfires in your face that the person is going to hear that you have said that.
Well.
You see, because for instance, if you say something about me to her, and maybe I know that maybe it was in confidence that you heard it and you went and gossip about it, and later on I hear it somewhere else.
You feel betrayed.
Feel bad about it. Than when you told me and I told you in the face, now we've addressed it.
Yeah. And that's what I like, but most people do not like that. Yes. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out well.
People don't like the truth.
The thought process of people is different.
Yeah. For me, I think that at every point in time, you should know your position in a person's life.
And where you can make inputs.
If you realize that, no, this is a person I can tell this.
You go ahead and do it.
This is a person I can tell this, we are on that level. I can tell this, and I tell you that, but I don't like your watch. If you maybe wore a silver one, you look better. And that person will be like, oh, really? Oh, thank you. The person will feel good about it. So you should know your place in the person's life before
you say it to the person's face.
And otherwise, you don't even, in fact, mind your own business and just pass.
Yes. And even the way you say it.
The way you say it also matters.
Like how you also say, somebody can say, what you eat, then that one, you have a particular relationship with the person to help the person change. Yeah, I agree. Yes.
It all depends.
Yes.
Yeah. But then one thing we should all take notice of is that when you are gossiping about somebody, like we all said, it should just be juicy. It should be something to make it fun or to make you feel good about yourself. If you are gossiping about somebody and there's some malicious motive behind it, I think it's bad. That will call for a bad character trait and not a social skill that we all exhibit to just make ourselves feel good. So if you're gossiping about somebody, make sure that whatever it is that you're talking about is not something that is malicious, it's not something that is not true.
There's always malice. Trust me.
There is?
Always. That's why it's called gossip. That's the whole idea. Malice. Are you getting me?
Yeah, I get it.
Gossip, the whole idea is malice. It cannot be for a good purpose. It cannot.
It can never be for a good purpose.
No, but why would gossip be for a good purpose? It's malice. It's for me to talk down on somebody. I feel good about myself. That's it. So it's malice. You cannot say that, I didn't have a bad intention. You lie.
Okay, so what if, for instance, you tell me something and then it's good news, okay, and you go like, oh, I don't tell anybody. But then for me, because it's good news, I'm going to tell Robert about it. But if you had told me and it's bad news, I would keep it to myself, even to the grave. Even if we are probably not talking again, I keep it to myself. But the moment you tell me something and I feel is good news, no way. Good news for me shouldn't be kept here. I should tell other people. But then you are probably keeping the good news because it's not time to announce it or for some security reasons. Would that also be termed as gossip? Because it was without malice.
How do you know it was without malice?
It was to celebrate you.
No.
How do you know?
No, you see, a lot of the time you may think that, okay, this is good news. Okay, she's coming. Let's say Amma has got a new car. Yeah. Amma's gonna put a new car, but it's not here yet. So they don't tell anybody. And then I come and I'm telling Papa, I'm like, Papa, Amma has a new car. You think I want to celebrate you?
Okay.
Yes.
Why would I want to celebrate you?
I get the angle. Yeah, I get the angle she's coming from.
Not to celebrate you that you're going to get a new car. The idea is that she said she was getting a new car and the car is nowhere to be found. Hello.
Okay.
There is look, gossip. Trust me, it's never for a good purpose.
Okay.
There is always malice. No matter how nice it looks, there's
always malice.
Always.
So well, to our viewers, if you are gossip, please do well to tone it down, because our lawyer has just explained to us that no matter what you do, gossip, there is malice. So please, let's work on that. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back to deal with the main segment.
What do you understand by the word feminism? I ask this because of the level of backlash the word feminism and feminist receive whenever the word comes. Feminism is simply calling for the rights of women on the grounds of equality of the sexes. This simply means that women do not want to be perceived as a weaker vessel and so restricted from doing certain things that they wish to do. If only we can all understand feminism for what it truly is and all garner towards achieving it, I believe the negativity and backlash that the word comes with will all come to a halt. As a human rights talk show, we will be addressing all of the issues that pertain to the rights of people. Please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave a comment and get interactive with us even as we discuss more. There are going to be seasoned lawyers and other experienced and lay people from all walks of life who will be in the studio for this discussion. This feminism thing that you just listened to is nothing. The real thing is going to be done in the studio, where it's going to be hot and juicy with so many things for you to learn and get to know about feminism.
Welcome back to the main topic for today, which is child marriage. So we would want to discuss child marriage and see what causes it, what child marriage is in the first place, whether or not there are laws guiding it, and what can be done. Now, Robert, can you tell us what child marriage is?
So child marriage is when a person
Okay.
who is below the statutory age. Or
And what is the statutory age?
18 years. In Ghana, it's
Okay.
18 years. So if anybody below the age of 18 is given into marriage, the person can't give consent. So we can't even say without the consent. Because,
because
at that age, we
the person
consider
have
the person
consent.
can't give consent, the person can't give authority or anything. So if that person is given hand in marriage, that is where we determine as child marriage. Sometimes people say early child marriage, but what we are saying is that if you put the early there, what you do is that you defeat the purpose of the people who are even married at the age of 17,
18,
and because early would mean it's early. But when you say child marriage, it covers everybody
everything.
within the bracket. So that is another angle that it's important that we know.
Rebecca, do you have something to add to what child marriage is?
Yeah, I mean, basically, that's what it is.
Okay.
Somebody under 18
Okay.
being given out in marriage. What I want to add is that when we say child marriage, it's actually for both male and female.
Exactly.
But in a part of the world, the female one is prevalent because of the kind of society we are in, that it's actually the man who has to take care of the house. You know that we are African, it's an African thing. So in the African setting, a lot of the time they would rather give a little girl to an older man, who they feel can pay whatever dowry, and which is not very likely for a little boy to be able to fulfill those conditions. Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us what the causes of child marriage is? What leads to child marriage?
Poverty.
A
lot of the time, I don't know whether it's still there, but I think it is. But
okay, so I want us to look at like the root cause.
Yes.
Could it be a cultural thing, or I want us to first tackle the
social cultural.
Okay.
It's social cultural. You know that one, it's cultural because in our part of the world things are changing, but it started from somewhere. And in Africa, a lot of the time it's seen that for a woman, your achievement is marriage. And so if your achievement, if whatever scholarship or whatever, degrees you attain at the end,
if you're not married,
you're nothing, then what's the whole point? Taking you through the process of educating you. Why not just give you out for marriage already? So that at the age of 30, you have your highest achievement.
Yes. Which is supposed to be marriage.
So that cultural thinking make mothers and fathers don't mind giving out their children out for marriage. And also poverty. I mentioned poverty. I mentioned these 2 points. Poverty because look, when people have kids, so many kids, the father doesn't have a job, the mother doesn't have a job. You have about 8 kids. You're not able to take them to school. What do you do with them?
Yeah.
Marry them
you
out.
give them,
exactly, and get some dowry.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you do them? They have nothing, so they are so poor. And because they are poor, they are not able to educate their kids. They don't have the money, they don't have the resources. So the children are just there. What do we do with them? Somebody comes and he sees a beautiful one. I want to marry her. Oh, well, why not? I mean, since it will be like...
It's more like taking a responsibility off the parents.
Because they cannot handle it.
And they even get money for that. Because
I know,
there's
the dowry.
price, yes.
Apart from the dowry thing, the fact that you are the in-law...
They get other benefits?
Yes, periodically. Yeah. Sometimes you being the in-law puts on you the responsibility of taking care of the rest of the
entire
siblings.
family. Yeah.
And so you marry the eldest and then your responsibility is with the rest. Sometimes right from the time that you were a baby, in a career, we have something called a siwa. You're betrothed to somebody. You don't even know. And so for money. So that your father is in debt, he owes somebody, and then
before you're probably even born,
he goes to the rich man and says, "Look, I need you to help me raise this money. It's okay, then give me your daughter and I give you the money. When your daughter is, let's say, 12, I'm going to marry her. I give you the money. And then he does a white school for them. So it's a social culture, it's a cultural thing. I know Papa may want to throw more light on this culture, but fundamentally a cultural thing. And then secondly, it's a poverty thing.
Yes. And also to mention the severity of child marriage. You know, sometimes because some of us are in some parts of of Ghana, we don't see the severity of it. Yeah. So you say that statistics shows that 1 in every 4 women in Ghana are married and have gone under child marriage.
1 in every 4
women, yes.
Wow.
And then also 27% of all women in Ghana have gone through child marriage.
Wow. That is such a huge percentage.
So huge.
Yes. And the severity is when you are going from the southern part to the northern part, the severity of the percentage grows up to 30%. So it's very important, and for the fact that people think that it is one part, like she mentioned, part of our culture, and that if women do not marry early, something will happen. Their babies will die. Their eggs will become too old, you know, and they need to so they need to be they need to go very quickly, and all of that. So it's very important. It's very severe, and if we don't take care of this menace, we are putting young girls into danger.
Yeah.
I mean, so many of them into danger.
Well, sometimes they talk about if you don't marry early, your biological clock is ticking.
Exactly.
You know, when I entered into law school, my aunties actually left whatever they were doing wherever. My distant aunties came to my mom to come and convince her that I shouldn't be in law school, because once I enter law school, I will not get married. And I'm like, and this was serious. And my mom was like, excuse me, and allow this girl.
Yeah.
And they came and they were telling my mom that, look, I mean, that's intrigue. And I'm like, why didn't anybody come to me to tell me this?
Yeah.
I would have told them something they would think about for the rest of their lives. But they went to my mom. Later, my mom was actually telling me.
Of course, they can't talk to you.
Oh, yes, they cannot. Because me, right from the time that I was a little girl, I was already a lawyer. I was already a lawyer. So, before I got to the bar, my mom was very sharp. I would have given them a piece
of your mind.
You know, but that is their thinking.
Yeah.
That is their thinking, and then they come in. Even for the fact that my mom is educated and she feels that, no, I really want to see my daughter do this, she will buy into it. So right from the time I enter into law school, they will be afraid that, hey, because I'm a lawyer, she will even want to get married. And so there's so much fuss about marriage in Africa. So much fuss. And so it's seen as a normal thing. If a 13-year-old girl is giving us marriage, what's her use anyway? Married. Her entire life achievement.
It's marriage and nothing else.
And then the idea of the status of the family. So recently what is coming up is that people are giving their children out to marry very quickly because they don't want their children to get into early teenage pregnancy or disgrace to the family.
Okay, some sort of shame to the family.
Exactly.
So to prevent the
shame.
Exactly, yes. So then quickly you get married. If you get pregnant, if you really get pregnant, we are taking you, go and marry the person. Yes. Go and bring the boy. Who is the boy?
It's true. Most of them are forced into marriage when they get pregnant.
Exactly.
Yes.
So then you have to marry, and then you are a child. You are under 18, but you have to marry because everybody, you got pregnant, and nobody must know that you got pregnant and you are not married. Yes. You know, so all these things contribute to people going into child marriage.
Well, we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we will delve into much deeper things. Stay tuned.
What do you understand by the word feminism? I ask this because of the level of backlash the word feminism and feminist receive whenever the word comes. Feminism is simply calling for the rights of women on the grounds of equality of the sexes. This simply means that women do not want to be perceived as a weaker vessel and so restricted from doing certain things that they wish to do. If only we can all understand feminism for what it truly is and all Ghana towards achieving it, I believe the negativity and backlash that the word counts with will all come to a halt. As a human rights talk show, we will be addressing all of the issues that pertain to the rights of people. Please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave a comment and get interactive with us even as we discuss more. There are going to be seasoned lawyers and other experienced and lay people from all walks of life who will be in the studio for this discussion. This feminism thing that you just listened to is nothing. The real thing is going to be done in the studio where it's going to be hot and juicy with so many things for you to learn and get to know about feminism.
Welcome back. As we were discussing before we went on a commercial break, we would want to continue. Now, can you tell us what some of the repercussions of child marriage is on the child and what problems it can lead to?
One of the big issues with child marriage is the health implications on the young girl, their reproductive health. A girl is young, she's not grown, she doesn't have the capacity to handle certain things. She gets into marriage, she has to go through all this process of sex that she hasn't even understood yet, you know, and get pregnant and hold a baby and all of that. That is a very big issue that we need to look at. We have instances where girls have been pregnant and they die.
Wow.
Because their body can't carry the pregnancy. And then also domestic violence. Because there's a child, this child doesn't know how to do a lot of things. And men will take advantage and beat them up or make them feel...
if they make a mistake or something.
Exactly. And their maturity is not up there. But then once you are married, you're expected to play certain roles as a married woman. And the child is not going through all those processes to understand, to be able to do all those things. So then the end game is that once she's not providing those services, then the man can take advantage and violate her, and beat her up, abuse her.
So it's more like when you're married, either as a child or as an adult, whatever comes with marriage is what you would go through. Exactly. It doesn't matter the age.
No.
So far as you are married,
yes,
you go like a wife.
You have to cook, you have to clean, you have to be ready for bed.
You have to get pregnant.
You have to all those things. Yes,
take care of your husband.
Your husband, yes, and be the person hosting the guests when they come home.
And can you imagine being a child and being a mother of a child?
Exactly.
You want to take it, and you know, for me, I think that the most devastating consequence for me is a child being deprived of childhood.
The fun and the experiences.
You know, being a child and having to wake up in the morning not thinking of anything. Just have to think about dream, about what you want to be.
I think I missed that already. Being a child.
You know, like dream of what you want to be. Yeah. Remember when I was a child, I used to sit there and be like, My dad took me to the bank once, and I realized the bank fund, they have money. They do. I want to work in a bank.
All the fun that comes with childhood.
There's money there. I want to work in a bank. But you can't say I want to be. Who's the boss? The bank manager. I want to be the bank manager. And after a while, I go to the hospital and I see, people are so sick. Those who take care of what are they with their nurse, they want to be a nurse. Yeah. And then you get to another, you are like 10 years. The joy of childhood. You don't know how fees are paid before you realize.
You don't even care.
You don't know how food gets onto your table. You eat, you sleep, you wake up. Somebody else is thinking about all this
for you.
What joy it is to be a child. You are deprived of this. At the age of 10 or at the age of 11, you are supposed to behave like a wife. As old as I am, sometimes I feel
too much.
I feel that it's way some work. How much more a 10-year-old?
So all these things are things that, and even when you talk about children who may not even come from well-to-do homes, they are still deprived of their childhood because they are also able to play, and have fun. At least take the burden off their minds a little bit.
They don't have to think about anything.
So all those things contribute to some of the issues that hinder them and the growth of the child, the progress of the child when it comes to child marriage.
Yeah, so it's more like the child having that childhood memory and experience is all curtailed. So it's more like you're a child and then the next minute you are not just a wife, you're a mother and a wife and an in-law and all of that comes with marriage.
That childhood memories and those things that they missed, it harms them for the rest of their lives. Anything that happened, before I read psychology, we have something called fixations. When you are
fixated,
when you undergo certain fixations, it really affects you till the a child didn't receive love as a child, finds it difficult to give love in future. I mean,
Yeah.
these things
It's true.
affect you.
So in essence, it affects the other generation.
It affects the entire generation. You will not be able to love your kids.
I think it's important that we look at these consequences and do something about it.
Okay. Rebecca, can you tell us what the laws are on child marriage in Ghana? Are there laws? What age is the appropriate age to be married? The legal age for marriage in Ghana?
You can get married as an adult. That's 18.
Okay.
But me personally, I mean, this has nothing to do with it. Personally, I feel 18 is way
It's still
too young.
Yeah, it's still young.
Look, this whole marriage thing is some serious business. And so the person needs to be very mature in every aspect of his or her life to get in there. At 18 in Ghana, you still be a student, right?
Yeah.
Maybe entering the university or something. And a person in level 100 be,
a wife or a mother.
A wife and a mother. For me, it still doesn't work. And I always say that.
What would you recommend? Say 21, 22 should be the legal age?
Yes, because for me, general contract, when you're talking about capacity of contract,
exactly.
We look at 21 being the legal age. And if marriage is a contract, an agreement between two people, I'm thinking 21 should be ideal.
Yeah, they should be the legal age.
Yes, 18 is way too.
So my guests are calling for a change in the laws.
I think so. I think
18 is fine. 21 is fine. 21 is.
It will interest you to know that some of our lawmakers are even fighting for a reduction.
Oh yes.
Because,
can you imagine?
Yeah, because the legal age to have sex is 16.
It's 16 years.
So then so there's an advocacy that if a girl can have sex at 16, why can't she marry at 16?
Yeah.
And this is even worse in some of, sorry to mention, but the Islamic communities and in Islamic countries, where they advocate that, at that age, if a child can have sex, if you say that the child can have sex, then they should be able to get married. So even though we even have 16, we are now fighting 18, we are fighting for 21. Some of our lawmakers, which we've heard in Parliament, and
they're the ones supposed to change it to the 21.
Exactly.
And if they are the ones advocating for it for a reduction, then I don't think we are heading anywhere.
And for me, what bothers me is that anytime they are talking about the age of marriage, the people they look at? The girls.
Women, girls.
Who is going to ask a 16-year-old boy to get married?
Yeah, hardly.
So the thing always affects the women.
So I think women, we need, not just women and then the entire society, we need to rise up.
Yes, because when
and fight for this, because it affects women more than it affects men.
Because when people are saying that, if you're 60, you can have sex, you can get married, these same people will marry you, and it won't just be about sex. You need to perform all the roles.
Household chores.
Yeah, don't see you as a child.
They don't see you as a child. So why don't you consider collectively the role of a wife? Because the reasons why a man or a guy won't be asked to get married at 16 is because they feel that the responsibilities that come with being a husband is way too huge.
Yeah.
Why doesn't anybody think that the responsibilities?
It's true. There should be some consideration for women as well.
The responsibility that comes with being a wife is way even bigger.
Yeah.
It's way even bigger. So if you're saying that for a girl 16 she can get married, you think marriage is just about sex?
No.
You think carrying a child is beings?
It's not easy. So probably we should all come together and start advocating for the legal sex for marriage. For 21 sounds very good. Perfect.
Yes. Good for
At
me.
least enough time to prepare.
Because I think way back, most of our parents probably married at the age of 22, 23. Most of them 24, 25.
Some were getting married early.
Earlier than that. But at the time, getting married at 21, 22 was okay, for their time. Yeah. So if we can go back to that system where 21 becomes the legal age for marriage.
21 is better.
It's better for marriage than 18. 18 is way too young. Because at the age of 18, how do you expect me to combine probably schooling, being a mother, being a wife, sex, and as a wife, if we want to go morally as a wife, I'm not supposed to even deny my husband sex. At 18, if I'm not in the mood, you can easily abuse me to have sex.
Exactly.
And then it calls for marital rape and so many other things.
And then the beatings, the abuses. Because at 18, trust me, you do some childhood things. You do some childish stuff.
21, you may do childish stuff, but then it's way better. Because 21, I for one, when I was 21, I was in university, my third year, almost Because I finished when I was 22. So at least it's more like your parents have confidence in you to be able to go to the university, be by yourself, and take care of yourself.
Exactly.
So at that age, I think it's better.
And we may not realize it, but age, even a year, and a lot of things can happen.
Development, and then you change.
You be shocked at what how
Exactly.
you have transformed within just a year.
Yeah.
So between 18 adding 3 more to it, I think it's cool.
Yes, and also I think let's look at this discussion, especially and see the gender lens from the whole discussion. You see that this is all about gender.
Yes, it's
and
all about
the
gender.
roles that we give to people in society.
Yes.
Like you said,
Yes.
because we believe that the man must take care of the house, he must wait a little more time and get enough to take care of the woman who can get married.
But
at the
marriage
time when
isn't
the
all
man
about
is
money.
ready. So then for me, when we want to address these issues, or we want to talk about them, we should start talking about what are the social norms and the roles that we've assigned to each gender, within our society, and what do we expect from them, So that
because that actually informs whatever decisions that they are taking.
The lawmakers would take.
Yes, because this debate that I had about people saying the age should be reduced. Trust me, it wasn't for boys. It was about girls. It was about girls, and so why would you, if you're reducing the age to 16, why are you looking at just one aspect?
People.
Give an age that both sides can get married at. Well, let's continue talking. Now, so these laws that are in Ghana and then globally on child marriage, are they being well implemented? Because from some research I did, in India, for instance, the child marriage rate is so high. India, Bangladesh, even in Nigeria.
And
the percentage, yes. West Africa, it's serious. Is it that the laws are not being implemented? What is happening? How come there's nothing to be done? Or is it because most of the child marriage issues that occur in the rural settings? So the lawmakers or those that are supposed to ensure that the right things are done are not there. So they don't even get to know. You get it? We don't get to see and know that, okay, this person is being put into child marriage to fight for the person.
Amma, as Papa said, this whole child marriage thing is culturally rooted. It's a cultural thing. And anything that is cultural, approaching it is some work. Because it's something they came to meet. Their great-great-grandmothers, it's been there. You understand? It's been there. Your mom thinks it's cool. Yeah. Your friends, your peers think it's so nice. Cool. Wow, you're 60, you're married, you're so lucky.
Let's move on. We don't have time. Yeah. So I would want us to talk a bit on whether or not there is some correlation between child marriage and domestic violence. Is there some correlation between the two?
Yes. There is.
Of course.
Yes, I mentioned it, that there is a high
correlation between the two.
And we have all discussed. A child will do childish things.
Yes.
And that will resolve in abuse.
Yes.
Because once you're a child, you're a woman, I expect you to cook. And you're a child, your energy is so low for those things. That,
yes.
So if you don't do it, I come home, there's no food, you'll be beaten.
Yeah.
In those settings where children go into those things. And you get instances where children, and they can't report. That is the sad thing. Because they are children, they don't know who to talk to. Because your parents you are going to talk to are going to tell you are in a marriage. It's your husband.
Deal with it.
Exactly. So it promotes domestic violence.
So this is more like an advice to all those that are advocating for or fighting for domestic violence. Should as well fight for fight against child marriage. Because if you are fighting for domestic violence and you are not concentrating on child marriage, okay, because we've established here that there's a correlation between the two. So we already discussed what we think the right age for marriage should be globally, right? This thing affects West Africa, Asia, and some. It's less. The percentage is less in Europe and some other Western countries. So should there be a global age, or it should still be limited to jurisdictions?
For me, I would prefer to talk from where I am, being in a West African state, and it's because this whole thing has a cultural rooting. Most of the people who believe in child marriage, or most of the men who would want to get married to a child are people who have a very deep rooted cultural belief that they don't want to let go. And so such men, because they are cultural belief is so deeply rooted. The reasons why domestic violence is caused is because they feel they have bought you. They feel you are their property. They don't have the modern concept of what marriage is. They think you are their property, and so if you are my property, if you are not a human being to me, I can do whatever I don't please.
And it's true, they see you as a property and not as a fellow human being, which is funny because
marriage, if you see the person as your companion, you see the person, you don't come home and then expect that
there's no food and then you're shouting.
You start beating the person. Oh, you didn't clean. No,
you would want to find out
that's not
why.
the reason why she's there in the house. She's your companion. So for me, from where I am, I think it should be tackled from the West African point of view. 21 is fine. At that point, the woman is matured enough to handle some of these things. Matured enough to be able to say, no, I don't want to get married. Matured enough to be able to decipher between good and bad and make decisions for herself.
So what do you think child marriage affects the future generation? Child marriage, so like now, if there's child marriage going on right now, in what way is it going to affect the next generation, the future generation? Does it affect them in any way?
Yes.
So how does that happen?
It does, because of course, like we mentioned before, once I am a child and I'm married at a particular age, I don't see why my child also can't get married.
Yes.
You know, because if I was a child and I could do it, and now I'm giving birth to you, you should continue. And like we said, it's the continuity of culture.
Yeah.
And another thing I want to add was also the benefits from the culture. You know, I implement the culture and I benefit in the fact that, one, I get to get married. Two, the man who is marrying the child to another person gets the dowry. So the benefits also motivate people to hide behind culture. You know, the benefits of getting a child married, getting off a responsibility, gaining something, and also getting a particular status in society that all my children are married. All these things are put behind that idea of culture. You get it? So if you look at it, you say culture is rooted, we don't want to change because it's our culture. Okay, you tell them that, okay, you can do child marriage, there's no benefit out of it, and see what will happen.
Okay.
You know, no benefits.
Yes.
The child, when you do, there's no dowry. There's no, you continue taking care of your child. If the child goes to get married, you continue to take care of it. And see, all the benefits are away, and it's
true. It's true.
Because if I don't benefit from the culture, people who are, for instance, let's quick jump to something like FGM. The reason why these women didn't want to stop them is because it's their work. That's where they eat from. I want to do the procedure.
The FGM, the female genital mutilation.
Yes, because I want to do it because that is where I even.
If you end it.
Yeah, for over 20, 30 years, they were fighting people thinking, oh, we are trying to change the culture. And it was only through research they found that, listen, these women are eating, that's where they eat from, that's where they're able to take care of themselves and their family. So if you don't provide an
alternative livelihood for them.
Exactly. Then that is where they will continue going, they will continue doing that. The same thing goes to child marriage. If the mother knows that there's not going to be any long list that I'm going to get a crop, I'm going to get a cow.
They won't do it, it's true.
You know, yeah, so that's...
it takes only bold people to want to admit that I did this, it didn't work for me, so I'll let my child
do it.
You need to be extremely
bold, and then I think it should be wisdom. You should have, yes.
You should, because society will just frown. But if it worked for you, why would it work for her? You would realize that your mom would definitely train you like the way her mom trained her.
But some people, too, if it didn't work for them, they would go like, okay, it didn't work for me. I don't want to subject my children to it. Few.
For me, as the mother right now, a lot of the mistakes I think my mom made, I have, because of education, I'm privileged to get educated. I'm able to make sure that I don't make those same mistakes.
Yeah.
Rather, I pick the positive aspects of her form of training. But naturally, you know, there was one saying that my little girl was doing something, and I was in the kitchen.
Okay, can you hold that?
Yes.
That's what we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
What do you understand by the word feminism? I ask this because of the level of backlash the word feminism and feminist receive whenever the word comes. Feminism is simply calling for the rights of women on the grounds of equality of the sexes. This simply means that women do not want to be perceived as a weaker vessel and so restricted from doing certain things that they wish to do. If only we can all understand feminism for what it truly is and all garner towards achieving it, I believe the negativity and backlash that the word counts with will all come to a halt. As a human rights talk show, we will be addressing all of the issues that pertain to the rights of people. Please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave a comment and get interactive with us even as we discuss more. There are going to be seasoned lawyers and other experienced and lay people from all walks of life who will be in the studio for this discussion. This feminism thing that you just listened to is nothing. The real thing is going to be done in the studio, where it's going to be hot and juicy with so many things for you to learn and get to know about feminism.
Welcome back. Rebecca, you were giving us a real life experience.
Yes, I'm saying that it's very difficult for something that you think worked for you, or even didn't work for you, to admit to want to change it. It's very likely that the manner in which your mother trained you, you may want to train your child that way. Unconsciously, it's an unconscious socialization. Yeah. And I was given an example that there was once my little girl I was in the sitting room, she was doing something further from me. I was telling her to stop. And she wasn't just minding. And I was on my computer. Stop. Can you stop? No, can you stop what you're doing? She's not even looking at me. I picked my slippers and threw it at her. Oh. And after that, I was like, oh my God, I didn't have to do that. But my mom did that to me so many times. Unconsciously, I feel that it's okay to throw slippers. You understand? Yes, because my mom, when she's speaking, and she will just be gauging you. She will throw her slippers. It will hit to whatever it is. She doesn't even care. Her mom did it to her. Yeah. Her mom did it to her. And so, slippers didn't kill my child.
So if you don't stop this, by the time my daughter grows up,
the same thing.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
And so after I threw the slippers, and I'm like, oh no. I said, Nana, sorry. I want your slippers hit here. He said, okay. So then I admit that no, I didn't have to do that. But if I didn't admit, which is very difficult to do, admitting that you are wrong. If I didn't admit, she also feel like it's fine. The next time she use slippers to hit her sister,
brother or something,
and then it moves on.
Societal.
So it's societal.
So in societal issues where people look at you and expect certain things from you, so you want to continue it so that you don't look like the odd one out. So that is also something that's exactly in the society. That also contributes to.
So now we'll talk about what. This one will just be brief. We talk about what can be done, like here in Ghana and globally, and because it's more prevalent in West Africa, let's look at, and that's because of our culture. Exactly. So what can be done to ensure that this whole child marriage thing is completely done with, it's over with, it comes to an end?
For me, I think the key thing that needs to be done is education. Yeah. A lot of people are living in blissful ignorance.
I like that, blissful ignorance.
So I think it's all about education. If you let somebody see the essence of educating, and then someone say that, you know what, if you educate this girl, she may become this. And a lot of the ladies will have to come in with this one and encourage the other girls to want to go to school rather than get married. Let them know that my highest achievement in life is not married anyway. I can achieve much more. Marriage is a blessing, good, but that's not it. My life
it doesn't
is not
define
about
you.
Yes. My whole life, as long as I'm living my whole life, so that I'll come and get married. No. I have a life today. I need to make an impact into the society. So when you educate them and the people get educated and they are aware, let people be educated and let them know that look, marriage is not all that as they think. People need to be developed. People need to be matured. People need to be ready to get into marriage, and then they will be. So I think education is key for me.
Okay, Robert, what do you have to say?
For me, I think we should also, in addition to education, we should crack the whip.
Okay.
We should use the law. If anybody does something that is wrong, we should show by example and punish those who go against the law. Yes. And show that, look, this is what is happening. We are punishing people.
I think the laws are dormant on some of these things.
So when we use the law and we start cracking the whip, people will learn that children need to be children and they need to play before they become adults.
Yes.
So like you heard from our panelists today, to ensure that child marriage comes down or is completely eradicated, we should ensure that there's a lot of education, especially amongst the young girls, more for the young girls, and also we should try to advocate for change in the laws. The age for marriage should probably move to 21 instead of 18, and it shouldn't be a gender thing. The role, it shouldn't be more of the women. It should be a gender thing. It should be equal. the consideration should be on men as well as it is on women. And also we should ensure that the laws on child marriage are enforced. When you go against the law, you must be punished. It doesn't matter who you are. When you go against such laws, you are punished severely for it. It will serve as a deterrent to other people, and then gradually this whole child marriage thing will become a thing of the past. Please do well to subscribe to all of our social media handles. I'm Mama NUPEZ, and you just watched the Human Rights Talk with NUPEZ. Thank you.
What do you understand by the word feminism? I ask this because of the level of backlash the word feminism and feminist receive whenever the word comes out. Feminism is simply calling for the rights of women on the grounds of equality of the sexes. This simply means that women do not want to be perceived as a weaker vessel and so restricted from doing certain things that they wish to do. If only we can all understand feminism for what it truly is and all garner towards achieving it, I believe the negativity and backlash that the word comes with will all come to a halt. As a human rights talk show, we will be addressing all of the issues that pertain to the rights of people. Please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave a comment and get interactive with us even as we discuss more. There are going to be seasoned lawyers and other experienced and lay people from all walks of life who will be in the studio for this discussion. This feminism thing that you just listened to is nothing. The real thing is going to be done in the studio where it's going to be hot and juicy with so many things for you to learn and get to know about feminism.